Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the
Look,
sky.
another one. You let one human in, and in no time you've got a swarm.
How can I?
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky. It was very unusual.
What would be unusual theory? Why's he got those glistening eyes? Things this world has to be. Don't try anything.
The Witcher's on board. We can go. Let's get to work, my bearded friends. Open the shaft, Skags. If you kill off those monsters, The whole of Vergam will be grateful. I'm sure some coin will be found.
We'll keep that in mind, Cecil. So, Sheldon, you opened the shaft yet?
Keep your pricks in your trousers. You can't just plough forward all the time. A mine is like a lover. You need to be gentle, so she accepts you moist and hard.
You and your music, Sheldon. Morning. Poor son of a bitch. He almost got away. I think I heard something.
Die.
Damn carrier. That was close.
What was that?
Necrophages. With this many appearing, they must have a nest nearby.
Come on! Show yourselves! I'll let you taste my axe!
Oh, you're making them shit bricks.
Even then, they'd stink less than you.
Damn it. Grab your weapons.
Focus on finding a dwarven immortality.
Wonder how many more. No time for idle chatter. Wonder how many more will turn up. Get ready. They're getting close.
Let's grab what we need and get out of here. Belly full, axe sharpened, and liquor awaits. Ready for battle. Right, Geralt. Looks like it's all over.
Thanks for your help, Zoltan.
Say nothing of it. Enough yapping. Time for some vodka.
First, I want to see if my fuck date's still waiting.
Just don't strain yourself. It takes energy to drink with us too, you know.
Eva! Eh? That's a witcher, not a human. So, no schnapps.
Who's this, my failing eyes spat?
Did you fight it, Brenna?
Oh, fuck. I knows you've got amnesia, but you could have remembered that. Ah, it was a beautiful day. On one side, 46,000 black ones. On the other, us, the Nordlings together. The Redanians led by De Ruyter on the left, the Temerian regiments in the middle, and us on the right. The Mahakam Volunteer Army. All dwarves. Even the likes of Cohor must have shit his britches at the sight of us.
He hardly lacked courage as I heard it.
All right, brave bastard, that's true. Prefer to die than run like a rat. I don't believe I've ever seen a bigger melee, except maybe 3 years ago here at Bergen. I would have managed that day too, even without the magic. That burning shit that fell from the sky. Why, even the Dun banner knelt before us when we brought our battle axes down.
Some say not one of the Dun banners survived. Any truth to that?
Biggerhorn nabbed the survivors as they fled south. But most men of the banner lie in the catacombs, along with their standard. The Dun banner. What the hell kind of name is that for a unit anyway? It's as if they couldn't get their fucking flag clean.
Were you in Rivia when I got caught on that pitchfork?
Was I? Fuck, Wolf, I saw you die. I didn't see the little bastard who took you for a haystack, but I swear it looked like you weren't going to make it. So I'm well glad you managed to lick your wounds.
I don't know if it taught me anything.
Come on, it had to. Not many have survived their own death.
You haven't noticed that I'm pissing up wind again, fighting for a cause that isn't mine?
No, I haven't. A free Upper Aedern is in the interests of any decent fellow.
I've been trying to figure out what Philippa Eilhardt's doing in all this mess.
Same thing as always. Conspiring until she gets her pubes in a knot.
I know you hate sorceresses, but try to put your animosity aside.
We hate them, that's a fact. But why do you think that is? It's not because of their secret knowledge or their nice tits. Their hearts are full of dung, Geralt. Mark my words.
You exaggerate.
Ah, maybe not all of them. The Isleheart's the worst. Need I remind you how she peddled her ass to Dijkstra just to learn the plans of the Redanian intelligence service? Everyone in Vergen knows she's not into cock. I tell you this, it's her ilk that caused the ruckus on Thanad Island. Think she's any different here? I'm crap at talking, girl, but you do all right. So I'd appreciate, as soon as Saskia's better, slip a word in her ear to watch out for Philippa.
Getting anywhere with the new recruits?
Like whores in a brothel, they're ploughing away at full speed. Saskia's army's full of men better at holding their pricks and a weapon. The Zoltan and I are helping them catch up. Most importantly, they don't lack spirit.
They won't defeat Henselt's regulars with zeal alone.
We'll show you what an army facing either victory or death is capable of. For we've no other choice, Geralt.
Zoltan claims you can arm wrestle like no one else.
He's right. Did he tell you I beat him?
Omitted that bit somehow.
Oh, fart.
Want to wrestle me?
I'm ready for your challenge always. So?
Show me what you got.
That's some training you received at Kaer Morhen.
You're no wimp yourself.
Never finished telling you. So, we were working at the fort, and what was
I thought we had a basilisk in the basement.
you associated with sorcerers?
Give us a kiss!
Morning. Sniffing intensely
Godspeed,
like a dog in a butcher's
Witcher!
shop. Maybe it's just asleep, I asked.
Give us a kiss!
You associate with sorceresses?
Greetings, White Wolf. Hands off me!
How are things?
Everyone awaits the battle. Some pray, others drink. Zoltan and Yarpan are chasing peasants around the square. They need a bit of drilling. Yorveth's warriors are trying to be inconspicuous, and so they should. I'd feel better if they crawled up the devil's arse and disappeared. But Saskia thinks we don't stand a chance without them.
How long have you been alderman?
My predecessor was killed 3 years ago. I was one of his advisors. I knew my way round the circus. So I volunteered to manage things. No one opposed me. Mostly I deal with trade and taxes, and I organise assorted matters. In the end, everyone listens to Saskia, exclusively. Me included.
This must be the first revolt ever to be taxed.
We can't feed ourselves nor fortify our walls with rebel slogans alone. But rest easy. Stennis and the nobles won't get a single oren from us. Though, of course, the prince is just waiting for the right moment to get his grubby hands on our finances.
I'm sure his motivations are pure, and he'll do it exclusively out of regard for his subjects. We killed most of the necrophages.
Most?
The passage to the lower level collapsed. They won't get out. In time, they'll die off and you can restart work.
Thank you, Witcher. The whole of Vergen thanks you. Here's your coin. Shive, Skaggs, and Zigrim will get the same.
I'd like to play...
Beat the innkeeper.
So be it.
Eh? That's a witcher, not a human. There goes the PC.
Strangers, more strangers. The place is busy like never before.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell
Look,
from the sky.
another one.
What's the rush?
You let one human in, and in no time you've got a swarm.
How can I?
Let me.
How can I help?
I'd like to play.
Fair enough, but I only play the best. If you're any good, you'll beat Bruno Big. How can I?
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
You've told that story 1,000 times. I've heard enough of flying women.
Thought we had a
Very
basilisk.
unusual.
What would be
Turns out it's just my...
How can I help? See you again. Greetings.
I don't know.
So, thought it over.
Well, I'll be plowed by a ferret.
Yeah. Witcher Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, you're a witcher like any other. But those swords, things of beauty.
Nothing special about them.
Ah, you're mistaken. Few know how to make a silver blade today. Fish eat me if I'm lying. And engraving runes is not exactly farting down a rain spout. I wouldn't mind a closer look at your swords. Care to browse through my wares?
I don't know.
What's to consider?
I wouldn't mind a closer look.
Elves, they talk a lot, think very little.
I wouldn't mind it.
I'd like to...
No, go.
Over's different. We haven't had a leader like him in ages.
Remember this, an elf's an elf. And the
So you're not enlisting.
I didn't say that.
You play dice?
Aye, us two and the Smith's apprentice.
And that's it?
In Vergen, there's also the head man, Cecil Burden, and the innkeeper. But they won't play unless you prove your...
Show me what you...
Me first.
You lose.
Care to roll?
You lose.
Care to roll? Give me a chance to win it back.
Care for a game of dice? Care for... like a rematch.
What's this? Clad in hues of green, amid shrubs he's seen.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
Always in a hurry. You'll have a
You've
stroke.
told that story 1,000 times.
Now, how can I?
I'd like to play dice poker.
So, shall we?
I want a re...
How can I help?
I'd like...
So, you won.
I'll take my coin, please.
Too good for me. Try the head man, Cecil Burden.
Might do just that.
Crouching.
I had a dream. We were mining up at the face of the crag.
I'd like to play dice.
Shall we? You might have beat the innkeeper.
We'll see now. I'd like...
Shop. I'll have to raise taxes. Here are your winnings.
Aren't you going to ask for a rematch?
You're too good. Try Haggard or Smith's apprentice.
So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
I don't know.
I wouldn't mind a closer look at you.
I'd like to play dice.
Shall we play now? You must be an old hand at this. The prize money is yours.
I'd like something besides coin. You're a blacksmith's apprentice. Got anything interesting?
I suppose I might. What do you fancy?
Got any meteorite steel?
Aye. 3 colors, blue, yellow, and red.
It's meteorite steel, not bloomers or garter belts.
Meteorite steel comes in several varieties depending on the nature of the element it's saturated with and the depth of that saturation. The elements dye the ore different colors. For instance, fire dyes the ore red, and red meteorite, well, you work it differently. You heat and hammer form it differently. You understand now?
Sure you're just the blacksmith's helper?
Want anything, or are you just going to stand there and wonder?
Red meteorite. Dangerous. I'll take some of that.
Be my guest. Anything else?
A design for a purple comet ore brazier?
A what?
Nothing. I'll be going.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Edirn?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Edirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Edirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwin hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact.
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg. So it appears to be true. If you want to know the details, talk to Biggerhorn. Apparently he witnessed it.
Have you heard about a Witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No. Why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
A sorceress like you ought to know bundles about the wild hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The hunt's not a superstition.
True. The phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me.
I'm looking for Triss. Letho forced her to teleport near Vergen.
Letho?
Foltest's killer, perhaps Demiven's too. Will you help me find her?
Certainly. We sorceresses must stick together. We have too many enemies.
Triss contacted you through Sheila de Tanzerville's megascope while in Flotsam.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Can you locate her?
A megascope responds to a person's aura. If I had something of hers, I could find her. You were close to her. Maybe you have something.
No, I don't have anything.
Not good. Wait. A local drunkard claims he saw a redhead fall out of the sky. This could be a lead.
I never heard of flying women before.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As it's our only lead, I'll talk to this drunkard. Do you know him?
I'm not used to associating with drunkards, but you'll likely find him in the inn.
Thank you.
Come back as soon as you learn anything. You wanted to
I've found an immortelle.
Excellent. You wanted...
You said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this area has a long history. There's the Battle of Wraiths, the site of Sabrina Glevisig's death and suffering, the abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divining rod, but please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burden knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him. You wanted...
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
But I can't look for them now.
I can do that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something. What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked Edern, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glevisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led to both armies being routed. Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel. I'd say she did a good job, considering.
I'm good for now. I'll let you know when I learn something.
You wanted to Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
Just out of curiosity, how much does a magic course cost these days?
I'm certain you can't afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a garden full of flowers, fruit trees, and young elves of both sexes copulating merrily all the day. And the illusion is complete. The flowers have an aroma. The fruit and she-elves are juicy.
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly see it. Professional curiosity.
Naturally. But I doubt Philippa's in the mood for complicated illusions. She focuses all her efforts on Saskia.
Who are you?
I'm Cynthia, a mage in training. Philippa is my mentor.
My condolences.
No need for that. True, she's a demanding mistress, but she can also be charming. Besides, she's the best there is, Witcher. She has no equals. Excepting, perhaps, the old elven sorceresses. You should see her cast spells. Light and graceful she is. Not like that old tart de Tanzaville.
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. I've seen all the great sorceresses at work. Sheila's quite manly in her style. Precise, logical, exceptionally composed. But she lacks grace and suppleness.
Is that your opinion? Or are you just repeating what Philippa says?
We agree in our assessment. Triss Marigold, on the other hand, is talented. But she lacks determination, courage, and a certain cold willfulness that seems necessary.
That's interesting.
Kira Metz and Margarita Low-Antiel are both blasé, seemingly resigned. One's a hedonist and nymphomaniac, the other cares only about her school. They lost enthusiasm for magic long ago. Then there's Francesca Finderbear. Nobody really knows what the old she-elf is capable of. But she's clearly very powerful.
I take it Philippa has none of these flaws, but she must have some weakness.
Ambition. Infinite, boundless, and burning like the Korath Desert.
What's this? Clad in hues of green.
Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook insult, called king by some, thought that Adernians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Edern?
According to Henselt, Upper Edern is the ancient legacy of the Kedweni crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago the elves reigned here, and 1,000,000 years ago these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighbouring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Hensel wanted to conquer Upper Eddern. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want...
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Eternians, Kedweni, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen. A beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Van de Grift attacked in the afternoon, he sent the Dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Eddern at all. We decimated the Dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kedwenis gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armour. Then Van de Grift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Van de Grift killed Seltkirk. A terrible death that sent the Eternian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kedweni sorceress who wanted revenge on Van de Grift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontard the third day after the autumn equinox. Eddern had good spies, so we were ready for them, and Seltkirk lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing, but he must have had more important business than defending his country.
You saw the Kedwenis cross the river?
From afar. I saw Van de Grift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ardcarrig. The Dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on Eternian land, Van de Grift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers and showed him their asses. Then Seltkirk stepped out in front of us. His white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kedweni arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood as if frozen, and Seltkirk just looked at them and bowed ever so slightly.
Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Van de Grift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once at a jousting tournament in Ardcarrig. Seltkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Seltkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Van de Grift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Seltkirk with that new sword.
Van de Grift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake of Seltkirk in the whole of Eddern. His brother babbled something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
You captured the Dun banner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitors sent them to their deaths. Refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunner, there were 7 Adernians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard. Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhard claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Van de Griff's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.
Saskia needs help, Cecil. Philippa can produce an antidote, but she needs a magic artifact to do that.
Would you like a fern and a dancing worm to go with it? Listen, I don't know about magic, but there is a place, as long as I can remember, it's been of interest to sorcerers. They say it's a very strong intersection. Look for magic there.
Where exactly is there?
Seek out the ruins in the forest beyond Bergen. There's a place of power there. You can't miss it. Why so glum? Saskia's a tough girl. She'll bounce back. Keep your head up.
Thanks, Cecil.
No, Witcher. I thank you. Save that lass, and you'll save my town. See you, Governor.
I never finished telling you about the canary.
I had a dream. We were mining up at the face of the drive like it.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
You've told that story 1,000 times. I've heard enough of flying women.
It was very unusual.
I heard you saw something interesting.
As clearly as I see you. Amazing. I look into the sky. But wait, you must buy a fellow a drink for such a story.
Well, you shut it already. We could all recite this bullshit now.
I'm a client and I'll say what I want. Pour me some hkkane mead and no cheating. This noble wayfarer will pay.
I'm a little short right now.
Let me tell you about...
I heard you...
Yes, but wait...
Well,
I'm a...
I'll pay, but if you bore me, I'll shove this meat up your ass.
With such a fine liquor. And my ass has no taste. You won't regret it.
Speak.
Last week I was passing by the gullies. I like to take a hike from time to time.
Get to the point.
Hush. So I'm walking and suddenly there's a flash, a crack. I'm thinking, a storm's coming, but nary a cloud in the sky.
You hit the ground with your arse so hard you saw a flash. You were that drunk.
Then I saw people lying in a gully as if they'd fallen from the sky, a man and a woman. The woman was so beautiful, I wished she'd fallen down on me.
What did the woman look like?
A redhead, wearing a vest and high shoes with pert tits and a round arse, just waiting to be grabbed and...
Sounds just like your old lady.
Shut your mouth.
What happened then?
Well, the woman was hurting, couldn't get up. The man clearly disliked her, because he didn't help her. He just stood there, menacing and talking, and then he left, and the redhead stayed.
Noticed her tits, but didn't even try to help her, you sod.
I was about to do exactly that when a troll came out of the gully, ugly as shit after blueberries.
Did it attack her?
Not at all. I hid and saw everything. First he sniffed her, so I thought he'd eat her. But he didn't. He threw her over his shoulder like a sack and returned to the gullies.
Is that all?
Yes. Didn't waste your money, as you'll agree.
One freak bigger than the next.
Maybe thinks he's made a mistake. Well. Slug it between the eyes.
How are you, Sheldon?
Better than at Brenna, though we've quite a rumble ahead of us. But I promise you this, we'll kick Henselt's arse and send him scurrying back to Kedwin.
Zoltan says your company are true arm wrestling masters.
Unbeatable, last I recall.
Is that so? Care to check if that's still true?
Sounds good. Ready to take me on?
Give me your best shot.
Look, another one. You let one human in and in no time you've got a swarm. I heard human women need only sit astride a man's pants for their bellies to puff up.
Sure there's no dwarfen blood in your family?
I'll tell you when I get my memory back.
Stinks of cheese.
Peasants now refuse to shovel manure. They dream of fighting.
The mine's safe again. Any plans to do something with it?
Course! Soon as the battle's done, we'll resume digging. Shame to let those rich deposits go to waste. My uncle says they'll put Vergen right back on its feet. Zoltan's talking about a shared enterprise or some such. He's to manage operations with my uncle as general overseer. We just gots to save the town first.
Hey, Scalen, wanna arm wrestle?
I really like to wrestle, but
show me what you're made of.
Alright. Wanna take me on?
Show me what you're made of.
Let them dream. They'll not flee before themselves expert. The situation's great. They want freedom and equality. No pig can jump higher than its snout. So let them fight for their freedom and ours.
I believe I'd split a rock with my dick sooner than I'd beat you at arm wrestling.
I guess that makes me the new champion of Vergen.
No shame in losing to the White Wolf. Though there's one who could still be a match for you.
Who?
The mighty Numa. I wrestled him in Kovir. Couldn't move my arm for the next week. They say he don't play fair. But that's just losers talking. You ever wrestle him? Give him my regards.
I will.
Who's he? He travels the lands, killing monsters for coin. Sorcerers mutated him.